Hi there. Thanks for joining me today as I make Crawfish Monica. Spring is crawfish season down here in the South, and Crawfish Monica is one of our favorite dishes to get at the New Orleans Jazz and Heritage Festival. Since the early 80s, Jazz Fest was really about the only place you could buy Crawfish Monica, and so you'd wait all year long for the festival. At the fairgrounds, I make it super spicy, but it would be a little too much heat for my family, so I'm going to scale back a little bit. Here are the ingredients we'll need for the dish. You can refer back to these at the end, or you can visit my blog for a printable recipe. Let's get started. The first thing I would tell you is to get everything prepped ahead of time because it's a pretty fast dish to come together. And there's a lot of things you can do to actually make this ahead of time so that you can just put it together for dinner time. But even if you're making it for right now, go ahead and get everything prepped first. Let's get started. Into a big heavy pan, and I'm using my black iron skillet again, we're going to melt about 8 tablespoons of butter. To the butter, we're going to add our minced garlic, about 7 or 8 cloves. We need lots of garlic for this dish, and cook it down for about a minute. Be careful, you really don't want it to burn. Then add 2 or 3 tablespoons of a diced yellow onion and cook another minute. Next, we're going to add 1/3 of a pound of smoked sausage, the smokiest you can find, and then we're going to add 1 or 2 cups of quartered grape tomatoes. Let all this cook down for a few minutes. Then we're going to add in our green onions, 2 or 3 chopped green onions should be good, and to the tomatoes and the tomato sauce. Cook all of this down a bit together, and it's going to be just really beautiful. And then we're going to add in about 3 cups of half and half or cream. All of it's going to come to a boil, and then let it cook down a little to start thickening. Now make it a little soupier than you think you're going to want it at the end, because once we add the noodles in here, it's going to absorb a lot of sauce. And at the end when you serve it, it's nice to have it still really creamy and saucy at the end. You don't want it to be dry. So after you've let the cream cook down for a while, add in your creole or Cajun seasoning. And I'm adding about 1½ teaspoons of creole seasoning. You need to start really slow with this, perhaps a ½ teaspoon at a time, and taste it each time until you get the level of heat you want it. Down in the South, they make it really, really spicy, but I understand that can be too much for some families. And then we're going to add in about half of the Parmesan cheese, so about a ½ cup of freshly grated Parmesan cheese. Now that our noodles are ready, we're going to add in the rinsed noodles. And this is 1 pound of cooked and drained rotini noodles, because that's what they always serve at Jazz Fest. And then I'm adding just a small handful of chopped fresh parsley, and then adjust your seasonings in your sauce. Finally, I'm going to add in 1 pound of rinsed and cooked crawfish tails. Now, if you buy crawfish tails that are frozen in the supermarket, they're already going to be cooked. You can tell that because they're red and opaque here. And you don't have to rinse them. That is a very highly personal matter. But I like to rinse them about 3 times because I don't want any of a kind of a fishy flavor on them. My family wouldn't like that. So I just like the really clean flavor there. So I'm rinsing them. Do it however you'd like though. Adjust your salt and pepper to taste. I'm using kosher salt and some freshly cracked black pepper. And then make any final adjustments to your heat or salt or pepper, and add a few more fresh green onions if you'd like. The fresh green onions on top really make it very pretty. And when the sauce gets, kind of saucy and the seasonings are right and your tails are tender, get ready to serve this amazing dish. You want to serve it immediately with some of the leftover Parmesan cheese and some good hot French bread, and turn on some good jazz music and get ready for Jazz Fest. I hope you'll enjoy this dish, and I hope you'll come back for more. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.